Hi guys, super nice to see all of you beautiful people. Before we get into everything, I want to take a minute, talk to the person next to you, tell them what you're building, how you're marketing it, and whether or not having an extra 1,000 users a week would actually help your business. I'll give you a minute. Okay, guys, we're wrapping it up. I hope you really enjoyed that, and I hope you made a connection with the person next to you so you guys can digest a little bit and strategize how you can apply everything that we're going to talk about today to what you are building, because this is the point of everything that I'm about to tell you. I like to keep it really practical. So let's say you're me. You have a problem. What do you actually do? How do you go and solve problems these days? Honestly, if you're anything like me, you open up 30 tabs. It's going to be a Claude, a Perplexity, a GPT, another 5 Claudes, and you put in the same prompt and just kind of see what happens. Let's say I have a problem. In a past life, I was a journalist, and I would have potentially used something like an AI proofreader. I asked ChatGPT, what is the best AI proofreader? What should I actually use? I have a budget. What do I do? ChatGPT then tells me, these are the best AI proofreaders. Oh, great, edit GPT. Let me go and take a look. Bam, converted. Take my money. I will do whatever our Lord and Savior, ChatGPT, says. Let's say I'm a little bit more old school. I go and I Google a thing. I Google what is the best AI proofreader, edit GPT, bam, converted. Please take my money. I will go and then buy the thing that has been recommended to me by Google's AI overview, because there's LLMs and AI in everything now. AI is completely changing how people buy, whether it's me or you or your target audience, a business that you're trying to work with. They're probably searching for your exact solution right now. And so the question becomes, how will you actually go and find them? My name is Tanya Van Gastel, and this is what I do. I run rankingonai.com. We do AI visibility and SEO for high-growth SaaS. We've been lucky to work with some of the coolest and the best tech brands in the world, Suno, Cal.com, but also companies like EditGPT, the AI proofreader that we work with. And so these are some of the things that we've been able to do and that we do on a daily basis. We drive results and we drive visibility for SaaS. So how do you actually make ChatGPT and Google love your product? Here's everything that you need to know to do well in SEO and AI visibility, or at the very least, as much as I can tell you in about 20 minutes. So I'm going to give you a couple of key things. I like to call it Apex. I think is the easiest way to remember it. And what we're going to do is we're going to play a little game. Whenever I point at you, you're going to say matters. Okay, we're going to test it out now. AI visibility. Matters. That's great. Apex. Matters. Very good. Very good. That's awesome. You guys are a great audience. Authority. Matters. Very nice. I get a real kick out of that, by the way. So, what is authority? Authority means you have a problem, you ask for a solution, and then you appear as the solution. Here's a little trick. If you ask ChatGPT for something, you can scroll down to a little thing called sources. And actually, in sources, ChatGPT is going to tell you where it got that answer, right? So here you can see all of the sources. Basically, ChatGPT, it doesn't make anything up. LLMs don't make anything up. It's not pulled out of thin air. What actually happens is that it indexes all of this information, and then it will go in, it will retrieve that, it will read that, and then it will summarize it. Then it's going to tell you what that information is coming from, and then it's going to give you that answer based on those summaries. And so that gives you a clear first step in terms of how you can actually appear as the ultimate solution. One key thing that you need to understand is you need to be building high-quality content, things like listicles that models read. And so what is a listicle? A listicle is something like this. It's an article that Zapier wrote. It's called The 9 Best Marketing Automation Tools in 2026. Guess what is Zapier, if not a marketing automation tool? And so this is how you can start to think about things. Build authority as a first step towards becoming AI visible. Because authority matters. You guys are a little slow on that one. I'm going to keep you on your toes. Presence matters. Great, that's really good. So what is presence? Presence means that you are present in not just AI search, but you are present across all types of search, including Google search. Because AEO or GEO or whatever EOs, there's so much overlap with SEO. But it's done in a very specific way, and I'm going to tell you how. The basis of SEO is helpful content. And this is the basis as well of AI visibility. 88% of ChatGPT citations actually come directly from the search index. If you are cited on the first page of Google, there's a 38% overlap with that, also with the sources for authority that AI uses to then go and generate content. So good AEO is good SEO. As a bonus, Google still drives almost 200 times more traffic than ChatGPT does. Traffic that is actually attributable, that is justifiable for a marketing person to go and spend money on. ChatGPT might refer you, but it will not tell you that that click actually came from ChatGPT. So you don't know where that click came from. You can't track it in your Google Analytics. You can't see it anywhere. The click is an idea. It's not really a click if you cannot attribute it. And the problem with that is because ChatGPT may recommend you something, but you cannot click on it. You actually have to go in, copy that little tool solution, and then Google it, and then you can find it. A lot of the time, you cannot click on something, and even when you can click on something, users are not always clicking on the thing, and so there's very low conversion there. The thing is, you should focus on both. And this is what EditGPT's Google clicks look like. They went up to 9K clicks from 0 last year, all the way up to 9K just for their blog section. And that's all coming from Google. This is not AEO. This is good old SEO that then leads to really good AEO. And so you can have your cake and eat it too. What does it mean to focus on quality? It's a very difficult question to answer. But there's a scientific way to answer it. It is a way that is backed by data, and it is basically do whatever Google wants you to do, right? Do and create really good, helpful, and unique content. And a lot of the time, what this is going to mean is that you could be creating very little pages, but they could rank really, really well. And as a matter of fact, a lot of SaaS, about 50% of their SEO revenue comes from less than 10 pages. And so you want to create those money pages, the whales, if you will, that drive the bulk of all of your revenue and that perform really well. Quality, not quantity. Here are examples of what Zapier has done. So for example, Zapier talked about best marketing automation tools in 2026. Guess who they put as #1? Zapier, of course, because they are arguably the best marketing automation tool in 2026, and they can make a case for that. Another really great way to do it is looking at Notion and doing things like product-led growth, product-led SEO. And it's creating content about how you actually do certain use cases with your specific product, and that works really, really well too. Complicated idea. Genius idea. Can I just generate all my content with AI, and will that be good for SEO? Who has wondered that so far? Right here, raise your hand. I see all of you. I see all of you. I hear you. I understand. I'm going to give you the answer to what you can and cannot do in order to do really well in SEO and AEO. AI is amazing. I love it. I use it every day. My team of writers also use it every day. But here's the key thing. It doesn't lower the floor. It raises the ceiling. What does that mean? It basically means that if you are creating 500 different pages with AI, and anybody with a ChatGPT subscription can create the content that you are creating, you are not adding value. You might not even get indexed. What does it mean to be indexed? It means that Google has determined that your page is valuable, and that then also you will start ranking on a certain page in Google, and then also ChatGPT will pick up your content. If you generate 500 articles on your website, you publish them all in one day or in a week or in a month, and then you go in and you check your indexing, none of them will be indexed, and as a matter of fact, Google may just decide that your whole website is spam and stop giving you any kind of clicks at all. But you want to avoid that, right? Who wants to avoid that? Great, yeah, me too. So here's what you do instead. Instead, you think about all of the content that you have in your granola, your fireflies, your meeting recorder, your whatever you have. Create all of that into an export, put it into Claude, connect it, and actually create content that is useful and that is helpful and that is unique to your business. Create something that other people cannot create. And be really thoughtful about how you create that content. Because the best type of content is human-written with AI support, because AI is amazing at creating things like tables, helping you create better documents for methodology, helping you create better documentation in terms of tables. And I highly recommend that you use it for all of that. Just don't go in and create something start to finish with AI, because it will not rank. And as a matter of fact, quality is so much more important than quantity. Here's an example of edit GPT content that performs really well. I use 12 AI proofreading software using the same paragraph. Here's the result. And so a lot of that is created using AI. It's just not completely using AI, and that works really well. So presence in regular search is extremely powerful. Presence. Massive. Very good. You guys are getting better. Endorsements. Massive. Very good. What are endorsements? Endorsements basically mean that when you have that problem, when you've looked in at the sources, you will go and see that these are not just EditGPT sources, right? You'll see there's an EditGPT article. We tested the best AI proofreaders, the best AI rewriters in 2026, Quillbot, and other blog content. But then there's here, for example, Anangsa wrote this article, PaperPal, Quillbot, Pro Writing Aid, competitors, bloggers, reviewers, what have you, have all written content about it. And some of them have included EditGPT. For example, the best AI proofreader tools of 2025, EditGPT here is ranked at number 2. And that's basically what you want to do. You don't want to just lean on your own website. You want to get other authoritative voices to endorse your tool, your platform, and you want to do that so that all of this content gets picked up by an LLM, and the LLM keeps saying, EditGPT, this tool, this tool, this tool, this tool. I keep hearing it again and again. Frequency, it really matters. And they will start to recommend that specific tool. And so you do that by getting endorsements. How do you get endorsements? You think about the person behind a specific type of content, behind a website, behind a business. Think about the people that you know in your life who are doing any kind of blog content. Think about the person you just talked to. Go and figure out if maybe you guys can do a little partnership where you post their blog, their SaaS tool, and you do yours, and vice versa. And that's called backlink exchange. And that's something that's super, super common and extremely powerful if you think about SEO and if you think about AI visibility as well. And so that's also why it's extremely helpful to be embedded in SEO community so that you can all do backlink exchange together. And as a matter of fact, that's how a lot of SEO works, is we go and talk to our network and say, hey, have you heard of this tool? Would you be interested in reviewing it? And you do a backlink exchange. So get into those backlink exchanges, land on best of lists, get reviewed on YouTube and Reddit, and earn those brand mentions. A brand mention is an endorsement. It's basically when somebody refers to your brand. And so that's what we've gone and done for EditGPT. We've reached out to YouTubers to create content. We've gotten them on different listicles for endorsements. For example, Milos Krasinski, who's a really great blogger, and Anangsa Alamian, who's also a fantastic Medium reviewer and has done awesome reviews for many years that rank very, very well. And so that's how you get your endorsements. How do you do a specific endorsement? You write them an email. You write them a really nice email. You remember that they are a person that is running a business and that you are there to help them with their business, not only for them to help you with yours. And so that's how you get into the endorsement cycle of things. And it's an extremely, extremely helpful thing to keep that concept in mind that behind every website is actually a person who you could potentially be having a conversation with just by emailing them. So get endorsements. Endorsements! Very good. Extractability. Extractability! Really good. It's a hard one because it's a really long word. And I cheated a little bit by putting an X there, but nobody knows. What are extractions? Extractability basically means that you want to make your content really easy for AI to extract. Now, what does that mean? Basically, it means that an AI, an LLM, is a bot, right? So sometimes some websites are blocked by things like Cloudflare, and then your bot cannot look at your website. If a bot cannot look at your website, it cannot actually extract any kind of information from it. It cannot look at the content that you have on your page. And so that is what you want to be really mindful of. You basically want to go in and make sure that your website is crawlable. That's one of the top things. But then outside of that, you also want to make sure that you write in a format that we like to call BLUF, or bottom line up front, something that we like to use in journalism as well, which basically means that you put the bottom line up front. You start with the most important things. You give the conclusion away straight at the finish, straight at the top. And that's really helpful because AI crawlers have shown to mostly look at the top half of any page, which is a very simple type of little thing, but it's very, very powerful once you start executing it because all these things accumulate and they really compound and improve your AI visibility. Another thing that you really want to be very, very mindful of is that you do content refreshes. What are content refreshes? Content refreshes are basically when you go in and you add a little piece of content, or you change a paragraph, or you make significant changes to any piece of content to update it for freshness. So that when you have new information, when a competitor or when your platform has been updated, has a new feature, has a new release, you actually go and put that on that page and you make sure that that is updated. And that is a content refresh. Now, ChatGPT in studies have been shown, and this changes all the time, so you cannot quote me on this like a year from now, it'll be different. But right now, ChatGPT has been shown to basically cite 60% more, is it 60%? A significant percentage more content that has been refreshed in the last 30 days. And so that's a really, really powerful tip to be mindful of that. Think about content refreshes. There are about 10 more things on this list. The best thing you can do is go and get that checklist. I will give you a checklist, or you can Google standard AI SEO checklist, put that into Claude, and run an audit on your website with it, and make sure that you also review your own blog pages with this. A little hack for what it actually means that your website is crawlable is also make sure that you have server-side rendering. I had no clue what that meant about a year ago. I do now. The TLDR, the long story short, is you want to download this little Google Chrome extension that turns your JavaScript on or off. You want to download it. You want to turn it on your website, and that will basically show you what the bot can see. And so if your JavaScript is off, it's a lot easier for a bot to crawl your website. So download this little JavaScript toggle. So make your pages extractable. Extractability? Nice. Great. So how to actually make Google and ChatGPT love your product? Apex. Apex? Super good. So this is a before-after, right? You have a little problem, somebody wants to find a solution, and you basically make sure that you are findable. This is about demand capture. Somebody wants something that you have, how can you be there and show up when this is happening? AI visibility framework, Apex, authority, matters. Presence, matters. Endorsements, matters. Extractability. Matters. Great, super good. I hope that you never forget. I wish you many clicks. I wish you many conversions. I hope your build goes really well. And if you like, you can scan the QR code to get the full checklist that I just mentioned. You can go and put that into your Claude, your GPT, your Codex, your LLM of choice, and do a little audit for all of your blog and all of your content. And that was it. Thank you guys so much. Yay.
So we have about 5 minutes. If there are questions from anyone, raise your hand. We'll bring you a mic.
Thank you. That was a great talk. I was just wondering, if you've got clients that are B2B or B2C, do you have any insights as to if there's any difference for business customers versus private customers?
You mean for AI visibility?
Yeah.
It's a very interesting question. It's a very pertinent one. When you're thinking about B2C or B2B, you want to think about the models that your client tends to be using. So something that we're seeing a lot is that when it comes to B2C clients, regular users, they may not be using a paid version of ChatGPT. They may be using a free version of ChatGPT, in which case the free version of ChatGPT triggers a lot less web searches. What does that mean? It means that you need to take a lot longer to be indexed. So if GPT is triggering a fresh search every single time, it means that it doesn't matter if your content was published a week or 2 weeks ago, because it will all be indexed. But if your users are B2C and they're using the free version of ChatGPT, you basically need to wait perhaps 6 months, perhaps a year, for all of that content to be re-indexed into the existing models that ChatGPT uses. So in that case, it matters a little bit. That being said, the action is the same. The action is the same, which means that you need to be creating content that is citable and that indexes well on Google as well as ChatGPT. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hi.
There?
Mimi?
Yes.
Here first.
Thank you so much. Your presentation was wonderful.
Okay, hi.
Hello. The next question is, do you have a class where you teach others? Private class?
No, I'm trying to talk to Harold, actually, if he's here, about doing a Maven course, so we may do that. I have a YouTube, though, where I talk about all of this. It's in the link as well. I've sneakily put in a bunch of connections. It's at Founder Tanya. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Hi, thank you for all of that, super useful. I used to have an e-commerce business and I was always worrying about backlinks and I'd pay people to do it and it was this sort of very difficult thing to do. My kind of sense is that that's changed and it's more about useful content that happens to reference you rather than like loads of links. Instead, It's like useful commentary. And then on that basis, is it kind of less but better, if that makes sense? And is domain authority still this sort of...
I love that you asked that question. I think it's a very common misconception about SEO that the idea is that SEO is very complicated, it's very technical, it's very domain rating, it's very this and that. It's really not. Even SEO at its core is about creating great content that will actually be readable by people. And so that concept is the same in AI visibility. The thing with domain rating is that it does matter. And the more great content that you write, actually the more that you will naturally get that domain rating. The thing is that now backlinks are translated into brand mentions. And so they sound kind of different, but they are not very different in its essence. The long story short, SEO is not as complicated as you would think. Focus always on creating great and helpful content, and you will always do extremely well in Google and ChatGPT visibility. And I would add that you would even do better now because so many people are using AI, frankly, abusing it to create very spammy content. And this is one of the best things that's ever happened to SEOs and to writers, because we actually have writers, real people who write content that we have on our team, and they use a little bit of SEO, but they handwrite. And it's one of those things that makes us extremely competitive, and it's why we are able to deliver results that go from 0 to 100K in 6 months, because everyone's using AI, and when you are not and you focus on quality, it's extremely, extremely powerful and competitive.
To that is if you're starting from zero, you've written this excellent piece, you've got to distribute it, right? Otherwise, it's just going to sit there and nothing's necessarily going to change, or is that not true?
So you get into what?
So you've built your app. It's at zero currently, and you want to grow it. You're like, right, I'm going to write some excellent content.
Yeah.
But you've got to distribute that somewhere, and presumably distribution is a really important part of it, because otherwise, it's never going to get found, even if it's incredible.
Well, absolutely. A couple of things that you can do to start with. Start your blog, plug in a CMS. If you're on a vibe-coded website, you can use something called Ghost, which I personally really love. If you're
Ghost or Goat?
Ghost. Ghost. Ghost.
Okay.
I think it's free, and then it's like $29 or $15. If you want to go a little bit more AI-powered, you can use Astro, which is a CMS that's completely AI-powered. It's a bit unproven, and it's a bit advanced, but I would always suggest to start with Ghost. WordPress also has an MCP that works really well with Claude. That's one part. Other parts are that LinkedIn articles are proven to rank really, really well. And even YouTube content ranks extremely well and has an extremely high correlation with AI visibility. So all of these things are now new channels in which you can create awesome, wonderful, helpful content that will absolutely help you rank, that don't even require you to look at things like backlinks.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I've put a couple of apps on the Play Store in the last month. I'm not very good at marketing. That's my main weakness, how to market my apps.
You mean with AI visibility and SEO, how you market your apps?
I mean visibility for downloads of my apps from the Play Store kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
With apps, it's people. Do you have a website?
LinkedIn, not really a website.
Yeah. No. I would still highly recommend you to have a website.
Okay.
You'll be able to get a lot more coverage.
Okay.
Similarly, though, you can leverage Medium, LinkedIn, YouTube, all of those things. In my opinion, having a blog will still pay dividends 1,000-fold, even if you have an app.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, we have time for one more, and I saw your hand first, so go ahead.
Hey, thank you so much for the talk. If we're saying that SEO and AEO is really just about having great content, then what is AEO aside from just making things people like?
Yeah.
So how do we is there a differentiation between
Yes.
just good content and AEO?
There absolutely is. So when we think about SEO, we think about keywords and we think about intent, right? So a lot of the shift that has happened, and actually good AEO is good SEO, but with a caveat. The caveat is that it needs to be bottom of funnel. It needs to be commercial and transactional keywords. That sounds complicated. What does it mean? It means basically that whenever I search for something, like instead of AI proofreader, instead of best AI proofreader, I just search for AI proofreader. That's informational intent. That's not buyer intent. Somebody who's searching for AI proofreader, maybe my mom. She's just looking for, my daughter keeps talking about AI proofreaders. What is an AI proofreader? She's not looking to convert. She's not looking to buy. Whereas when someone like me is searching for best AI proofreader, I'm looking to buy something because I'm looking for the best. I'm looking for comparisons. I'm looking for alternatives. I'm looking for certain types of content that will actually help me decide and make a purchase decision. So all the informational keywords, gone. It used to be that in SEO, you could create something called a glossary. A glossary is basically where you put your own company dictionary and you could rank for AI proofreader, AI tools, AI this, AI that. That doesn't work anymore because basically all of ChatGPT, all of Claude are answering all the informational queries directly. So there's no point in informational keywords. Good SEO is, good AEO is good SEO that is bottom of funnel.
Really interesting. Thank you.
Happy to.
All right, Tanya, thank you so much. Big round of applause for Tanya.